Welcome to tonight's Board of Commissioners meeting. Join us for the invocation by Commissioner Goodman, and join us for the pledge.
Let us stand. Gentlemen, remove your covers, please. Let us pray. Our Father and our God in heaven, we come to Thee in prayer. We thank You for all the blessings You've bestowed upon us. We thank You, Father, for all of the needs that You meet. We pray, Father, for those who are still standing in the need. We pray for those who've been bereaved. We pray for those who are ill. Father, we ask that You guide, guard, and protect those who serve us in uniform. Stand between them and evil. Bring them home safely at night. Father, we ask for Your blessings on us as we consider these matters before us. Give us wisdom, give us courage, help us do Your will. All of these things we ask in Thy most precious and holy name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, roll call, Katie.
All commissioners are present.
We need to make an amendment to the agenda. We need to add item 19 for the purchase of vehicles for the sheriff's office. Are there any other amendments? If not, can I get a second on that one?
Second.
All right, this is to amend the agenda. All in favor? Motion carries. All right, now can I get a motion to adopt the agenda as amended?
I move to adopt the agenda as presented, as amended.
Second.
I got a first and second. All in favor? We have an agenda. All right, if there's no changes to the July 15th regular meeting and public hearings, can I get a motion to accept those minutes from said date?
I move to accept the minutes from the said date.
Do we have a second?
Second.
This is to accept the minutes from the July 15th regular and public hearings. All in favor? Motion carries. All right, this brings us to our presentation. Who's doing that?
I have that, Chairman.
All right.
So before we get started on the proclamation, I do want to thank Dr. Green, Dr. Phillips for hosting me and a couple staff members at the pep rally this past Friday. They definitely know how to get the students rowdied up, and that was probably the loudest I think I've ever heard a gym. So go Wildcats. I think they did a tremendous job that day, and then the Wildcat football team did a great job that night, actually against my alma mater. Kind of a mute point there, but I was on the Wildcat side, sitting on the Wildcat side, so I really enjoyed the game as much as we could be there. So here we have a proclamation. This is going to be recognizing several students from the Skills USA chapter. It's proclamation of the Camden County Board of Commissioners recognizing Camden County Skills USA chapter for earning national recognition. Whereas the Skills USA National Leadership and Skills Conference, held annually, brings together over 18,000 student leaders, advisors, and competitors from across the United States, offering students the opportunity to showcase their leadership and technical skills on a national stage. And whereas representing both Camden County and the state of Georgia, the Camden County Skills USA chapter once again demonstrated its commitment to excellence in career and technical education. And whereas Camden County Skills USA was honored as one of only 24 chapters nationwide to receive the prestigious Model of Excellence Award, the highest honor awarded by Skills USA, recognizing outstanding implementation of the Skills USA framework of personal, workplace, and technical skills grounded in academics. And whereas the chapter's standout project, the Camden County Senior Center Technology Workshop Series, was selected as the national superior example of technical skills grounded in academics, providing senior citizens with hands-on digital literacy training through iPads purchased with grant funding while fostering a spirit of mentorship and service among students. And whereas students, and I'm sorry if I mispronounce any names here, whereas students Rihanna Revels and Chloe Loper represented the chapter at the national conference, presenting and interviewing on the chapter's award-winning project, while many other chapter members also contributed to the program's success. And whereas in addition to this chapter honor, Camden County students earned impressive individual awards, including Dane Whitley, Industrial Motor Control, 2nd place; Olivia Goss, Basic Healthcare Skills, 10th place; Malaki Moen, Masonry, 12th place; Olivia Douglas, Nurse Assisting, 12th place; Ronan Griffin, Related Technical Math, 17th place. And whereas this national recognition is a tremendous honor for Camden County students, Camden County High School, and the entire community, and being named the model of excellence reflects the chapter's vision, dedication, and hard work in preparing students to be career-ready leaders. Now therefore be it resolved that the Camden County Board of Commissioners hereby recognizes and congratulates the Camden County Skills USA chapter, its advisors, and student leaders for their exceptional achievements and national honors, and extends best wishes for their continued success in inspiring excellence, service, and leadership in Camden County. Proclaimed this 19th day of August 2025, signed Chairman Ben L. Casey. Dr. Green, if we could maybe have you, Dr. Phillips, and all the staff and students come up to the front. We'll get a photo of you all, and if anybody would like to say anything, you're more than welcome to do that as well. One of my staff just mentioned too, we do have some of the seniors here with us that have actually received the benefits from what the students did. So if any of the seniors would like to come up, we would welcome you as well.
My name's Riley Copeland. I was serving as the vice president of our Skills USA chapter last year, and I also had the opportunity to place at state. Both years I competed and became a state championship this past year in early childhood education. I just want to thank you all for giving us the recognition for our hard work and how much we've poured into this community on this community service project, and that we will continue to do so over this next year. And we couldn't do it without the support of Camden County. So thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to, I did mess up one name. I knew I did. It's not Malaki, it's Malachi. So I apologize for that. Malachi, if you can hear me, I don't know if you can, but I did mess that one up. I figured I would. I apologize.
They were laughing at you, sir. All right, this brings us to our first public comments of the night. We'll limit it to 3 minutes and agenda items only. Anybody registered, Katie?
Yes, sir, Mr. Ricky Manning.
Good evening, Commissioners. Rick Manning from Bullhead. I just want to touch on a few things here that's on the agenda. Item number 9, the request to purchase and install shade structures at the playground. I have no problem with, actually, them doing this and spending our tax money. The only problem I do have is I've been fighting for almost 4 years now to get y'all to resolve the code violations at the gun range, but yet I can't get nothing done. So, but we can install structures out here for shade. That being said, we'll touch on that at the end of the meeting too. All right, the revenue bonds for joint development. Here's another thing. I really don't have problems with what's going on with joint development and if they're doing a good job and bringing stuff to the county. I do have problems with revenue bonds, as all y'all should. The money was approved, no problem. Let's get some business out here. But when we do revenue bonds, I hadn't seen one yet that didn't wind up costing us so much money that the original amount, half of it gets gone in fees and in interest rates and stuff. So why do we spend the money way ahead of time? This has been ongoing for years that I know of. So why all of a sudden we've got to go do this? By the time we pay this bond off, we've lost 30% of it. So we lost 30% of what we approved as voters. Voters didn't approve for us to pay all the interest and everything to give them money ahead of time. That being said, I'm through.
Anybody else register, Katie?
Not for the first.
Anybody else wish to speak before the board? Come on up, John.
I'm John Wojak. I live on 247 Peoples Road, District 5. I'd like to address the joint development, 10, 11, and 12. I went to a Citizens Academy and I learned a lot about the county. And there's a lot of good things they do for the county. And I'm proud of them. I'm proud to say I'm from Camden County. But there's something about the JDA that just doesn't sit right with me. Over the past years, I've been reading the newspaper and I've been watching Jacoby. I've been watching what they do with the Gilman property down on the waterfront, Scripps, the whole 9 yards. But I don't see where the JDA is really producing for Camden County. We spend a lot of money on the JDA, and I don't see any productivity. We got this hydrogen plant. I don't know if that's going to generate any money for the county. This money that they keep asking for, is that going to cause a millage increase? We need to be careful about how we dole out this money by people holding out their hands and saying, we need this, JDA. I'd like to hear about where Jacoby's going. It's been it's kind of been enlightening to me that we have these intelligent people to allow a lot of this stuff go on, and it's costing us money, one way or the other. If the JDA is going to do something, start bringing in some industry that's going to benefit the county and help keep our taxes somewhat normal. I know the fire department and all them, they need stuff, and the jail. Jail's got priority. I'd like to see some of this money, or all of this money, go toward the jail. But anyway, I'm going to keep my eyes and ears open to see what the JDA does from here on out. I don't want to be like Ricky and have to come back here again and again, especially about the JDA. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Anybody else?
I wasn't on the agenda, but I need to say something.
Is it on an agenda item?
Is it on the item?
Is it, if you want to speak about anything on the agenda, you can come up now. If it's not on the agenda, you need to wait.
I don't think it's on there.
Okay. All right, Timothy?
Timothy Bessett, Senior, Woodbine. want to speak on item number 8 on the agenda, purchase of body cameras for the Camden County Sheriff Office. I believe that in the climate that we're in, I believe that this is a no-brainer to approve the purchase of these body cameras. I think the body cameras speak when officers can't speak and refuse to speak, and even when there might be a victim on the other end that's not able to speak, that the body cam will speak for them as well. So this item on the agenda, purchase of body cameras for the Camden County Sheriff Office, I certainly hope that you will approve this item in the spirit of transparency with the department. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, hearing none. This time we need a motion to adjourn the regular meeting and convene a public hearing.
I move to adjourn the regular meeting and convene a public hearing.
Second.
We got a first and second to adjourn the regular meeting and convene a public hearing. All in favor? All right, we're now in the public hearing. All right, Cassie, you got the floor.
Good evening, Commissioners. First up tonight, can you hear me okay?
Can you pull it a little closer?
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. So first up tonight, we have a rezone request. The applicant is requesting to rezone approximately 11.35 acres from agricultural forestry to single-family residential. This parcel is located in District 2 on Sheffield Island Road. Here's an overview of the property. And then this is the zoning map with the property. The applicant is requesting a rezoning to subdivide the property into 7 separate parcels for the purpose of building residential homes. This is the proposed subdivide. And Planning Commission does recommend approval on this item.
All right, does anybody from the public wish to speak in favor of this item? Anybody wish to speak in opposition?
My name is Charles Garthwaite with my wife Chris here. We live at 1003 Simmons Bluff Road. Our only concern is we walk it a lot of times with our dog up and down Simmons Bluff, up around Sheffield and back around to the house. And we're always up down that one time. My only concern is a couple of those first lots are going to have a driveway coming out on that S-curve. And I just feel that's going to be dangerous because people coming around that S-curve, you're not going to be able to see if people coming out of the driveway. So that's my only concern. On those first couple, I think 5, 6, and 7 are probably pretty okay that you can see, but those first couple, if the driveway's coming out onto Simmons Bluff, I don't see where, I think it's going to be a hindrance for people to see. Not only that, with that is people think Simmons Bluff Road is a drag strip when we walk up and down there. There's a lot of people that fly up and down that little short stretch. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to the next item, Cassie.
Okay. Up next, we have another rezone. The applicant is requesting to rezone approximately 2.11 acres from agricultural forestry to agricultural residential. This parcel is located in District 1 on Burnt Fort Road. Here's an overview of the property. This is the piece that they're going to be cutting out. And here is it with the zoning.
All right, the piece is the little triangle, right?
Yes, it's the triangle with, I highlighted around it in red so that you could see it a little bit better. The applicant is requesting a rezoning in order to subdivide the 2.11 acre tract from the overall 1,900 acre property for the purpose of selling this parcel. There's a view of the plat. Planning Commission recommends approval on this as well.
All right, anybody wish to speak in favor of this item? Anybody wish to speak in opposition? All right, seeing none, we'll move on. At this time, we need a motion to adjourn the public hearing and reconvene the regular meeting.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, this is to adjourn the public hearing and reconvene the regular meeting. All in favor? Motion carries. All right, you're back up, Cassie.
Yes, sir. This is a rezone request to rezone approximately 11.35 acres from agricultural forestry to single-family residential. Planning Commission recommends approval on this item.
All right, can I get a motion on this item?
I make the motion. Make the motion to approve with discussion. I'll second you there, Martin.
All right, we got a first and second to approve this rezone. All right, we can start off the discussion.
Now, I know I'm not supposed to address the audience, but I can address you. One of the things that's taking place in District 2, in Harrods Bluff especially, is the sheriff is proactively trying to slow people down on these roads. So what I recommend is before you leave tonight that you grab the sheriff and ask him what his ideas are. I think he's going to share it anyway, so stay until you get past that because there is a traffic problem in Harrods Bluff, and we are trying to address it. So stay long enough to hear what he has to say. But I make the motion to approve this rezoning.
Any other discussion? I think this is, 7 extra houses,
Yeah, 7 lots.
which in the future, there could be a ton more, so. On Sheffield Island. All right, we got a first and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. All right, next item.
The next item up is a request to rezone approximately 2.11 acres from agricultural forestry to agricultural residential. Property is located in District 1 on Burnt Fort Road. Planning Commission recommends approval.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the rezone as presented.
Second.
All right, we got a first and second to rezone the 2.1 acres. Any discussion on this? All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, Jared.
Good evening, Commissioners. Before you, I have 4 items. The first one up is consideration of the approval of the purchase of Craftco Super Shot 125 crack ceiling trailer package for the Public Works from Reynolds Warren Equipment Company of Lake City, Georgia. Pavement preservation is critical in protecting and extending the life of the county's paved roads. As asphalt pavement ages, stress cracks form and allow water to infiltrate the pavement, accelerating degradation. Untreated cracks continue to degrade and form potholes. As you know, we don't like potholes. Studies have shown that 75% of untreated pavement crack form potholes within 5 years, while only 1% of sealed cracks form potholes in that same period. So as roads further degrade, costs for restoration and repaving drastically increase and utilize more of the annual pavement repair funding. So by utilizing this crack sealing trailer, a 3-man crew can effectively perform annual preventive maintenance to the county's paved road system, extending its longevity. $110,000 was approved in this year's budget for this purchase. This purchase is going to be utilizing a cooperative Sourcewell national contract, and Reynolds Warren Equipment Company is the local supplier for Craftco products. So again, this is a request to approve the purchase of this unit from Reynolds Warren.
I make a motion, we approve this item.
I'd like to second that.
We got a first and a second to approve the Craftco Super Shot. Any discussion?
One thing.
Please go ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Go ahead, Cody.
I was just going to say, I hate potholes too, and I'd love you to come take care of some in my district.
Working on it.
Are you getting the dual axle or the single?
We're gonna get the dual axle. It's a
Okay.
4-ton unit.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, briefly, this is to seal the existing cracking.
Correct.
Okay, okay,
So this is gonna try to prolong the longevity of the current road state.
okay.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. All right, next item.
All right, next up is an acceptance of a bid for bulk aggregate materials for unpaved roads. Aggregate materials are utilized to maintain, repair, and improve the quality of unpaved roads throughout the county. Funding in this purchase is included in the Department of Public Works annual operating budget. Aggregates are used to repair low and soft areas, increase compaction, and improve maintenance effectiveness. We maintain a stockpile of aggregate materials for the unpaved road system and is used on an as-needed basis. We also have stockpiles that are critical during the hurricane season to quickly build back roads devastated by the heavy rains. Bid pricing is valid for 1 year and includes all delivery costs. So again, this motion is to accept the competitive bid pricing for the purchase of bulk aggregate materials.
All right, can I get a motion on this item?
I'll make a motion to approve with discussion.
Second.
All right, we got a first and a second to approve the bid for bulk aggregate. All right, you want to start off, Rod?
Yeah, I'm okay with the bid. I just don't think we need to be, can we exclude fill dirt, fill sand, manufacturer stand from the bid? I think we can do that cheaper locally. Can we exclude that from the bid? Will the supplier entertain that option?
I would say, yeah, the supplier is going to supply what I need them to. We can bring those off. The only one I would recommend keeping would be the manufactured sand. That's sand that does meet a certain spec for GDOT. That is for mixing concrete and mixing mortar. It's not just regular fill sand. It is a component that's precisely mixed to benefit the concrete. And manufactured sand, I get basically a truckload or two a year, so it's not as critical.
I get it. Can I amend my motion?
Yes. Well, you probably need to,
I need to amend my motion.
yeah.
Okay. I amend the motion to approve the proposal with the elimination of clean fill dirt and fill sand. And if you can go back to the supplier, make sure that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's my motion.
Could you repeat the last part? Clean
sorry?
fill dirt? You said clean fill dirt and,
Yeah, if you look at the clean fill dirt and fill sand, which is the first two items, manufacturer sand, I mentioned that in the first discussion, but we'll leave that on. But take clean fill dirt and fill sand off of the motion.
So we can go back out and rebid that. Those two.
Yeah, and I think it's, I mean, we can discuss that further, but I think fill dirt, fill sand, we can get that locally if we have to, when you need it. But let's just work with that later on.
Okay.
I'll second Robbie's motion to amend his motion.
All right, this is a acceptance of the bid minus the clean fill dirt and fill sand. Any more discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
All right, the next two items have to do with us working with the base. I think both of these items are really go to the heart of what the IGSA is between us and the U.S. Navy. So essentially, as we know, as their fiscal year ends, September 30th, any money that they have remaining from projects, it's tough for them to try to reutilize it and get through all the red tape on their end. As a county, we're a little more nimble. We can play by our rules and go out to bid or go and solicit for quotes that they wouldn't be able to do in a short period of time. So during this project of the road base paving for the road project on the base, we've come under budget quite a bit. And so there was some savings of about $234,000. And so the base came to us and said, look, we have some dilapidated railroad crossings that we know we have to do this next fiscal year when we have the money to do Webster Road. We're looking to see if we can reutilize this funds before we lose it. And that way we can extend the funds for next fiscal year onto more projects on the base. The gauntlet was set for me to try to find a way to make that work. I went through, contacted 4 different railroad construction companies. Obviously, it's a very minute group of individuals and a small pond to fish from. Got quotes back from 3. Got an official proposal from 1 that was just under $100,000. It also entails working with Davis Contracting, which is a firm that produces and installs concrete on the base and is fully vetted to work anywhere on the base. That is an exclusive group. I think there's only 2 vendors that work on the base doing concrete of this type, and the other one, only does work for larger jobs. So they didn't even want to touch this. So what I'm bringing to you tonight is the consideration of a multi-prong approval. It's not the project as a whole that you're approving. You're approving 4 different sections that will be approved to make the project work in the time period we have. So it's to be services, labor, and materials involved in the improvement of 4 railroad crossings located on USS Daniel Webster. The first will be with Tar Heel Railroad Construction for the replacement of 2 railroad crossings. The second would be Davis Contracting for the installation of the 4 concrete approaches. It would be Garmin Trucking for the delivery of aggregate materials, which will be utilizing the contract we just accepted in those bid prices. And then finally, it'll be Camden County Public Works for the self-performance of demolition and removal of the spoils for the 4 crossings and installation of asphalt paving on 2 of the crossings. So again, the Navy approached us, gave us the dilemma that they had in trying to look for a solution. I feel that we went through and vetted all of the vendors and that we did all of our due diligence to make sure that we are fiscally responsible in the project and that the funds were going to be allocated properly. And this would be the approval that I'm seeking from you guys so we can go and work with the Navy and get this done for before the end of the fiscal year.
All right, can I get a motion on this item?
I move to approve the multi-pronged project award for the railroad crossing improvements and on Daniel Webster Kingsway Naval Base.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We got a first and second to approve the multi-pronged project award for railroad crossing improvements. Any discussion?
Since we're on the subject of railroad crossings, right there in front of the base, I believe it's St. Mary's Road, which is not necessarily us. It might be the city of St. Mary's. Who's responsible for fixing the actual crossings themselves?
So technically, the crossings are responsible for the railroad that owns them. So whoever has that active crossing and owns that easement right away.
The one closest to the base entrance and then the one right by the fire station where it crosses, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Both of those are severely deteriorated. If you
They
could get
are.
in contact with whoever's responsible for fixing those, that'd be cool too.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
can look into it. Thank you. And then lastly, wait, you guys still got to vote. I'm sorry. Sorry. Got sidetracked.
Any more discussion? All in favor? All right, now you can move.
All right. And lastly, to piggyback on the previous discussion, there's a concrete slab that's in very bad shape on lower base. I don't know if you know what that means. They have a upper base that is housing and where they have normal public can usually go with minimal badging. Then they have a lower base that you have to get a heightened security, and you usually have to have sometimes escort if you don't have that heightened security. And then they have a lower base that is literally like right outside the shoreline. This is on the lower base. It's a concrete pad that needs to be replaced because they move heavy equipment from one building to another. This is another one they came to us. If the money is there this fiscal year, we're going to go with this project. If it isn't, it's going to be the first thing that's going to start October 1st. Again, this is with Davis Contracting, a vendor that already has that clearance to do that work.
All right, can I get a motion on this item?
I move to approve this item for the sidewalk concrete replacements at Meadow Trail. Meadow Walk, is that you said?
Metal Yard, Lark.
Yeah, that trail, please.
All right, do we have a second? All right, we got a first and second to accept the proposal from Davis Contracting for a replacement surface on Meadowlark Trail. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
And real quick, I'd like to reiterate, the base is paying for all of that as well.
Yes.
So,
Good evening, Commissioners, Chairman, Kevin Chaney, Sheriff, Camden County. Come tonight to ask for the request to approve the sharing and agreement certification for equitable sharing through the Sheriff's Office. That's an annual program that we do, that we participate in. It helps us to fund things that the budget does not fund, and we use it for Sheriff's Office purposes. So it's a good program that we able to use. And one of the things that talking about, Mr. Martin was talking about some of the things we're trying to do. Some of this money has went towards buying speed limit signs with radars on that we're going to utilize throughout the county, and we're going to start in Harris Bluff Road will be the first area that we will focus on. Shelford Island is one of the areas, Simmons Bluff, and there's other spots throughout Camden County that we utilize this to help try to slow down some of the traffic. So that's a good program to do. So, thank you.
This is something we do every year. Can I get a motion on this item?
I move to approve.
Second.
We got a first and second to approve the equitable sharing agreement. Any more discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. All right, next item.
Next item is the approval to purchase 14 body cameras, 4 of them which is utilized inside the jail. That's never been done before in Camden County. It's vital as part of the transparency piece that when I took office, that's one of the things I ran on was transparency inside that jail. And utilize body cameras gives them another eye for us to see on and make sure we hold everybody accountable. And the other one's for, updating the fleet of cameras that we have that's expired or old.
All right, can I get a motion on this item?
Make a motion to approve purchase of body cameras.
second.
Got a first and second to approve the purchase of body cameras for the sheriff's office. Any more discussion?
I had a question for the sheriff. You said 4 are going to the correctional facility?
Yes, sir.
How do you, I'm sure there's a lot more than just 4 people on staff.
There is.
How do you determine who's going to
We have people that's inside the main control and the rear pod. They don't interact with the inmates, so it'd be the ones not interacting with the inmates.
Thank you.
Any more discussion? All in favor? All right. Thank you, Sheriff. All right, Alex, you're up.
Good evening, Commissioners. I come to you this evening to request that the Board of Commissioners consider the purchase and install of shade structures for Cornelia Jackson Memorial Park from Pro Playgrounds. In response to the rising temperatures that cause the playground surface covering to become hot, staff recommends the addition of shade structures at Cornelia Jackson. This shade structure will provide a more comfortable play environment for the community and extend the usability of the park. This will complement other recent initiatives that we made to improve the Memorial Park. Our purchasing department solicited and received 3 quotes for the shade structures. Of these, Pro Playgrounds submitted the second lowest quote, which is $112,999, but offered the shortest lead time for delivery and the highest height for the entry for the shade structure. And this purchase will require a budget amendment.
All right, can I get a motion on this item?
I make a motion to approve with discussion.
Do we have a second? All right, we got a first and a second to approve the shade structures for the playground. You want to start off?
Yeah, when we first put this surface material down, I thought it was the end all of any kind of harm to children is really the reason we did it. I saw this out at State Park. They have it out there, and it works really well. It's very soft, it's cushiony, and the whole 9 yards. None of us knew that with the sun bearing down on it, that it would be, I think, around 160 degrees, isn't that the temperature?
Yeah, that's what they picked up on their
Yeah.
thermometer, that laser
So
thermometer.
this shade is a recommendation given to us by the people that sold us this, that would fix that problem, because we can't allow these children to play in that stuff at 160 degrees. So that's the reason why. I remember pushing this as hard as I could, because I thought it was a better material, and it is in the wintertime. Got to have a shade in the summer. I can't believe we can't just put a little tin roof over it and let it go, but we can't, because we're different. But I did want everyone to know it's a safety issue, and we need to take care of it.
Any other discussion?
I don't see Miss Nancy. Maybe you can answer this for me, Sean. Sorry, I didn't realize this would come up as a question, but how much are we amending the budget? Is it the full 112,000?
It would be the full amount, correct?
Okay.
Unless if we are able to find savings in other projects, then it would be the full amount. Jared did find his capital equipment a little cheaper, but that'd be the only offset, is if we
Well,
can
I
find
think,
other projects.
yeah, he got, what, $5,000 off?
Around that, yes,
Yeah, I
sir.
think that's what he got.
Every penny helps.
Yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
any more discussion?
Yeah, forgive me, this is the second bid, it's not the low bid?
It's the second lowest.
Okay,
The
what-
lowest bid has a longer lead time, and it only has a 12-foot height for the entry. So when you're swinging on the swings, there's a potential for the kids to be able to hit the top.
Gotcha, okay.
So, and this one has a 14-foot height on the entry.
And the difference is just a little over 2,000.
Yeah, it's only,
The reason I'm asking, to make sure we don't have a low bid issue, to come back to us and say we should have gone to the low bid. We have reasons to do that. Okay, I'm cool.
All right, any more discussion?
I got one more question. So if we're taking the 112,000 out of the capital improvement fund, when we budgeted for the capital improvement fund, is that offsetting a different project if we didn't amend it?
So this amount, unless if taxes just come in much higher than what we've budgeted, and unless we find savings elsewhere, whatever we have to do the budget amendment for will be coming out of fund balance. That's the
Fund
only other
balance,
place,
okay.
correct. So basically, we'll pull, part of the funding that we set aside in the budget for this fiscal year came out of fund balance. It's a small amount, but part of that was, really the majority of it was for capital projects. We've been doing more capital lately, over the last 3 to 4 years, than we ever
Growing,
have.
Yeah.
A lot of it's just infrastructure's aging, needing new pieces of equipment because SPOS state funds ran out. We are collecting SPOS 9 funds now, but we haven't been able to collect the money yet and actually be able to spend it. We're just now receiving the first check from the month of July. So it's going to take some time to build that account up before we can actually start spending some of that.
Thank you.
All right, all in favor? Motion carries. All right, James, you're up.
All right, James Coughlin, Joint Development Authority. Thanks for having me this evening. Appreciate it. I think you've got a presentation. Oh, there it is. If I could, I'd like to do a quick presentation before we get to these 3 agenda items. I told Katie.
Can you
I'd be done.
get a little closer to the mic?
Sorry. If I could, I'd like to do a brief presentation. Joey's bringing me the remote. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. As it relates to the next 3 agenda items regarding our new Commerce Park, I told Katie I'd be done in 57 minutes. 5 to 7. 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, got it. All right, am I pointing at the screen? Okay, there we go. All right, so I was here 5 months ago, or a little over 5 months ago. March 18th, we did a presentation. We did an update on all the things that were happening with the JDA. We let you know, as we have several times recently, that we've sold all the property in our other industrial park. The last sale we had was to Sice, which is the Italian water products company that moved in recently, and we're going to do their ribbon cutting soon. They are open and moving in, so it looks pretty good. But anyway, we were back here March 18th. You remember what else happened March 18th? That was a SPLOST vote, right? So that was a busy day. So anyway, this is the slide that I went over with y'all back in March. And one of our key pieces of our plan that we call Camden Forward was that we were going to invest in new property this year. We've been talking about it for years. We knew we were going to come to a point where we needed to get some new property, and we finally identified a piece that made sense, and we're able to do it. And I explained to y'all that night that, our competitors have been doing this for years, right? And when I say our competitors, when I get contacted about a project, they're not just looking in this area. They're looking globally in most cases. In some cases, they're looking in the southeastern United States. But I'm just, for the purposes of tonight, when I came to you last time, I let you know that our competitors in the Golden Isles Development Authority had their Trade Winds Park that they had invested money in over many years. They also recently approved a bond to do the Georgia Break Bulk Logistics Park that the Golden Isles Development Authority will be doing. Over a $6 million bond, 1,400 acres. So that's a big project they're doing. And McIntosh County, the Tidewater Industrial Park that they've recently done. Liberty County, Tradeport East and Tradeport West, they've done these now. Nassau County, Florida, Crawford Diamond Park. Y'all are seeing the pattern. Everybody around us has far outpaced us in their ability to attract projects. We've done a great job, in my opinion, of getting what we call base hits. We've had a lot of Evans Concrete, AgLogic, CJ Plumbing, Plug Power, which is the biggest piece of property we've had. We've had a lot of those, but we've never been able to compete for a home run because we've never had the kind of property that our competitors have. So what's happened since then? SPLOST passed that night, so thank you very much to the citizens of Camden County for approving that. We purchased the access site that has blocked access to this property for years. The property I'm talking to you about is off of Highway 17, where Harriet's Bluff Road intersects Highway 17, just to the west. That property there was owned by the Hutchins family for years. It was in probate after their passing. A group out of Savannah got a hold of it and operated it as a junkyard for years. But we have always known, and the public has known, that our intent was to get a hold of that piece of property and put a road through there that would serve this what we call a commerce park behind it. Keeping in mind that several owners ago of this Commerce Park property had invested hundreds of thousands of dollars to get it what we call grad certified, or Georgia Ready for Accelerated Development certified, get their wetlands permit, and get it industrially zoned. So they had invested all that, but we could never get to it because of that property. As soon as it became available, we got it under contract and bought it. JDA and Radiant, the property sales division of Rayonier, agreed to terms for 50 acres, which is the minimum the state will allow for a grad certified piece of property. Has to be 50 acres, and an option on the next 100. We've applied for a couple of grants, the SEED grant and then the RSDI grant. I'll go into more of those later. And we've already started preliminary engineering for the road, water, sewer, and rail crossing. So this is what we call the Coastal Georgia Commerce Park. This is, let me see, do I have a pointer here? Yeah. So this right here is where Harriet's Bluff Road comes in, right off exit 7 on 95. It'll come to this intersection, and trucks coming in or vehicles coming in will cross immediately over into the Commerce Park. This is the first acreage we're taking down right here. This is 50 acres is what we're paying for. It comes out to a little over 60 acres because of the wetlands, but we're only paying for the uplands. Then we have an option on this property here. It's another 100 acres of uplands, 117 total. This is the road construction. This is what was actually contemplated in SPLOST, was the access road. As you can imagine, this intersection right now is not prepared for trucks coming both ways here. So a lot of the improvements that have to be done are improvements on Highway 17. There has to be decel lanes, deceleration lanes, turn lanes. This entrance property here will have a 4-lane divided ingress and egress point. It will not be signalized to begin with, but I would imagine as volume increases, we'll work with DOT, and that will be a signalized intersection. Water sewer, we got to be able to deliver infrastructure to this. So working with the city of Kingsland and their engineering group to deliver water and sewer from our existing industrial park further up east on Harriet's Bluff Road, all the way down, bore under 17 and deliver it to the property. And then a rail crossing. You mentioned the rail crossing. This track here is owned by CSX. It's operated by Genesee and Wyoming. And then Genesee and Wyoming has an operator's agreement with St. Mary's Railroad. So sometimes it is hard to track down who's ultimately responsible, but the track is owned by CSX. And they have approved, they along with Genesee and Wyoming have approved moving this existing rail crossing from Red Smith Road about 800 feet south to this new crossing point. All right, and so now the next couple of slides, I'm going to go over the plan of finance for this. The first is for the issuance of a $5.3 million revenue bond for a portion of the land acquisition, road construction, rail crossing, water sewer construction. And this will be paid, this will be paid out of the JDA's existing product development budget. So this is money you've already approved in our budget, and we'll be spending this to make the payments on this bond. It does require the Board of Commissioners to issue concurrence with the intergovernmental agreement. The next phase will be paid for with the SPLOST bond. This is the $3 million SPLOST that was approved specifically for the access road. The annual debt service for that will be paid out of SPLOST revenue when it comes in. And again, that requires county concurrence for the intergovernmental agreement. And grant funds, you know, I never like to assume grant funds are a given because you never know. As Julie, I'm assuming Julie's here somewhere, as she can attest, they're extremely competitive. We'll do the best we can. We think we're very competitive for some of these grants, but you certainly can't bank on them. So the first one was the SEED grant, or the State Economic Infrastructure Development Grant, which is federal funds that flow down to the state and they're distributed through the state. That's $1 million. We've applied for that for water and sewer for this project. We got our pre-app in. This is a national competition. We were invited to submit a full application. They thought we were qualified enough to do that. And then they sent a crew down in July to pay us a full visit and inspect the property and take pictures and that kind of thing. So we think we're competitive, but again, I don't ever like to assume we've got that money in the bank. That decision will be made in September. The next grant is the Georgia Rural Site Development Initiative that Governor Kemp established for $2.5 million. You have to be a grad site for this. As I mentioned, previous property owners had invested the money to get this property grad certified. So we check that box. We're applying for this to assist with the road construction. We got our pre-app in. Next month, we'll turn in the full application. We're waiting on the PER, which is the preliminary engineering report. As Commissioner Cheek can tell you, any of these grants, communities have to spend thousands of dollars assembling engineering before you're even allowed to apply. They won't even consider it until they see that preliminary engineering report. So we're waiting on that final report, and then we'll turn in our full application. The state will make a decision. That's at the governor's level. That decision will be made in the governor's office, November, December timeframe. Both of those grants, if we get them, have a 2-year performance window, so we would have to be done with the construction by 28. And for those, the way I'm approaching those grants is we can take the road and the water and the sewer further into the property if we get the grants. If we don't, we'll just come right up to the property line, and that'll be as good as we can do. All right, and that is the concept plan, the same one that I took to all the SPLOST meetings, showing the capacity of the Coastal Georgia Commerce Park. It's got a tremendous amount of capacity. We think it best positions us to finally be competitive for the big projects that I know we all want. What questions or ways can I help?
Can you give just a quick synopsis of what a commerce park actually is, just in layman's terms?
Sure. Some communities refer to it as an industrial park. Some communities will call it a business park. We like to use commerce park. The distinction I'll make between this and our other industrial park, The other industrial park, if you remember, the Joint Development Authority built that in the late 90s, mid-90s. And over the years, sold parcels to investors, people that wanted to just buy a couple acres and hold on to it, people that wanted to have a little shop. We had one guy out there that just had a personal shop that he used to fix cars in. That won't be the case with this one. We're going to hold out with this one. This will only be sold in large acreage increments to big projects. But it's specifically for commercial, industrial tenants, not residential. Just since you bring it up, the acreage beyond that, Radiant owns 14,000 acres to the west of that. And they see this as opening the door for that development west of here. This is exactly what worked for them up at
Richmond Hill?
Richmond Hill, thank you. At Richmond Hill, at the Belfast-Keller exit, that worked for them. They entered a deal with the Development Authority, developed industry in one area, and then it led to a massive residential investment, new school and everything else. They have dedicated space for a new school somewhere in this area. So that's Radiant is doing this because they see that eventually leading to the same type of investment there. Way more than you asked for, sorry.
That's okay. That's what I was asking.
All right, so we need to dive into item number 10. The approval of intergovernmental agreements between the JDA and Camden County for SPLOST 9 funds. We need to do that first.
Right.
So,
So that's the $3 million bond. We're placing that with Regions Bank. They gave us a rate of 3.35%, which we thought was very good. And like I said, the debt service, so that will be covered with the SPLOST revenue as it comes in.
all right, and you're getting the loan so we can speed up construction, basically.
Exactly. Had we done this, just by way of example, that, SPLOST is a 6-year period, the loan stretches out for 7 years to allow it to close out. Had we done this 7 years ago, it would have been half the cost that it is today. If we wait 7 years from now to do this, when we, save all this money, it'll cost twice as much as it does now.
Yep.
You do it when you can do it.
All right, can I get a motion on this item?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, we got a first and a second to approve the intergovernmental agreements between the JDA and Camden County for SPLOST 9 funds. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, item number 11 is the approval of intergovernmental agreements between the JDA and Camden County for Revenue Bond A. You want to explain that a little more?
Okay. So actually, the first one you just approved is the intergovernmental agreement to allow the SPLOST funds to flow to us. My apologies. That's what that one is. The next Revenue Bond A is the actual bond that we will issue with those SPLOST funds, if that makes sense. So there's 3 intergovernmental agreements.
Okay.
One is just like you have with the cities that allows SPLOST funds to flow to the cities, it's an intergovernmental agreement with us, what you just approved, to allow the SPLOST funds to flow to us. Item number 11 is the actual bond we're issuing with those SPLOST funds.
And that was 3.15 million?
3.15 at 3.35% interest.
All right, can I get a motion on this item?
Make a motion to approve the intergovernmental agreement between the authority and Camden County for Revenue Bond A.
Second.
Got a first and a second to approve the intergovernmental agreements for Revenue Bond A. Any more discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, now, item number 12, approval of intergovernmental agreements between the JDA and Camden County for Revenue Bond B. You want to explain that one a little?
Yep, this is
Little bit more.
this is the one I referenced earlier that is the $5.3 million bond that'll be paid for with the funds we have in our budget that we call our product development line item. So this is paid for by the money that's already in our budget.
All right, can I get a motion on this item?
I move to approve the intergovernmental agreements between the authority and Camden County for Revenue Bond B.
I'll second.
All right, we got a first and a second to approve the intergovernmental agreements between JDA and Camden County for Revenue Bond B. Any discussion? All right, y'all's budget is good enough to pay this
Yes,
as it
sir.
is?
Yeah, as it is, we make this payment.
No more discussion. All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. All right, Jenny.
Good evening. I come to you tonight to ask for your approval and consideration in the increase in ambulance transport fees that we can match the Medicare allowable rates. We use a third-party billing company to bill for our transports, and they brought it to our attention that several of our transport fees does not even match the Medicare allowable rate. So we wanted to come tonight and ask you if we could look at adjusting those rates to match the Medicare allowable rate.
All right, can I get a motion on this item?
Can I change it?
Sure.
Okay, when, in looking at this and looking at our neighboring clients, we're nowhere near where they are on their rates. I'm a Medicare recipient with a supplement, and I would like to see us change this to match at the average rates of all of our neighboring clients as well. Now, if someone doesn't have a supplement and they can't pay it, then granted, you'll have some money owed at the end of the year, but there's a way to get around that as well. But I say we go to the place, not just the allowable medical rates, but go to the match the average rate of all of our neighboring counties.
If you look on the spreadsheet that was attached, it shows you the average charge for our neighbors that use the same billing company. And I think that's what Mr. Turner is asking us to consider. We don't have a problem with that. A lot of our patients do have supplements, but there will be some potential increase for our revenues or our AR balances that don't have the supplement.
All right, do we have a second for Mr. Turner's motion? I'll second it for discussion. Anybody got anything else?
So to be clear, you're proposing 700, I'm looking at the
Robbie,
bottom
can you
line.
speak into the mic a little bit more?
I'm sorry. If you look at the bottom line, you're asking us to increase, I'm going through the line items, 730, 275, 425, 14, and 860. That's your proposal?
That's what we were proposing, yes, sir.
Okay, gotcha.
Our proposals are still under the average for our neighboring
Right.
clients.
So how does that
And I'm saying
relate
go
back to the
go
motion?
to the average.
I'm sorry?
I'm saying go to the average.
I see what you're saying. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm not saying go above it, but go to the average, because we're way below our neighbors as far as what they charge.
I will say some of our neighbors, especially to the north, are potentially wealthier counties than a lot of the people that live here in Camden County. And we have a lot of people on Medicaid, so I think already raising it to the allowable amount would save people from having to spend more that necessarily can't afford it.
Actually, it won't. If you have your AR set up, so at the end of the year, you can write that off. They already do it.
We do.
This already happens.
Our write-offs is up to $100.
Yeah.
Anything over $100, we do not adjust off. After 90 days, we try to process them to our collections company, and then they try to collect what they can.
And maybe what we could do is basically, if someone doesn't have a supplement, then, of course, they get a different discount. You may need to work that out, but
Well, I was going to say this, if someone has no insurance, they're still paying the same rate as someone
Correct.
that does have a Medicaid or insurance. So we're raising the cost from 6 something to 750, on those people that have no insurance as well. So if we raise it even higher as what you're proposing, it's really going to negatively affect people that already can't afford it.
Well, if they can't afford it, they're not going to be paying it anyway. All right, any more discussion? All in favor of Mr. Turner's motion? Those opposed? Passes 4-1. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. All right, this brings us to item number 14. This is the appointment to the Board of Elections and Registration for District 2. You want to make a motion on that?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I looked at all three. I had three folks that applied for this position. All three of them were extremely qualified. I would recommend them for almost any board in the county. They're good people, upstanding citizens. But I'm going to go with Mr. Vernon Higgins because he's an active member already of our election since 2024 or 2014. And he served as a poll clerk up to the poll manager, and most recently being the poll manager in Waverly. So at this point, I would like to appoint Vernon Higgins to that position.
I'll second.
All right, we got a first and second to appoint Mr. Higgins. Any more discussion? All in favor? This brings us to item number 15, appointment to Coastal Advisory Council. I'm going to nominate Commissioner Smith for this appointment. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, we got a first and a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, and I just want to clarify for the public, this is just for the ability to represent the county as an applicant. So the county's giving me the go-ahead to apply for that position, so thank you.
All in favor? All right, next item is the voting delegate for the ACCG Legislative Conference.
I know.
Motion was item.
I nominate the chairman, Ben Casey, for that.
Second.
All right, we got a first and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. All right, item number 17, an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Kingsland and the Georgia Gateway Community Improvement District for use of Tier 2 SPLOST funds. Who's doing that, Sean?
I'll do it, Chairman. So this is to consider the IGA with the City of Kingsland and the Georgia Gateway Community Improvement District, often referred to as a CID, for the use of the Level 2 SPLOST funds that was approved back in March of this year. It's up to $10 million. This money will be used to support the first phase of public infrastructure into this project. Probably many people have heard this referred to as the Georgia-Florida Sports Park. The City of Kingsland is going to act as the fiscal agent. They also have representatives from staff on the CID board. One of those is the city manager, the other is their CFO. So really glad to have them sitting on that CID board. The SPLOST eligible considerations for this project are including roads, turn lanes, water and sewer extensions, stormwater systems, sidewalks, lighting, signage, and grading. Under the agreement, the CID may issue bonds, tax anticipation notes, or other financing instruments to front-load construction costs, which will then be repaid and administered by the city in accordance with the approved debt service schedule. CID will provide annual debt service and coverage reports to both the city and the county, along with documentation verifying compliance with Georgia law. All funds must be expended by June 30th of 2031. Any remaining funds will then be reallocated to the Camden County Jail and Sheriff's Office building as authorized within the SPLOST referendum. And this agreement, again, may be terminated by mutual consent or for cause with proper notice. If there's any questions, I'll entertain those now.
All right. Can I get a motion on this item? I'll make the motion to approve this.
Second.
We got a first and a second to approve the intergovernmental agreement with the City of Kingsland and the Georgia Gateway Community Improvement District. Any more discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Motion carries. All right, this brings us to item number 18, amendment to the Water Utility Management Franchise Agreement. This is just cleaning up some language.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So one of the changes the change was basically where there was some infrastructure, basically the sewer system within one of the areas within the service agreement, one of the subdivisions. The HOA is going to maintain ownership and maintenance of that system, and Water Utility Management wanted to recognize that within the franchise agreement, so that's what the modification is before you this evening. The other thing that I will add, I know Commissioner Smith, you had some questions the last time we heard this discussion about the franchise agreement regarding generators. I have discussed this with the owner of Water Utility Management. He's assured us that they are working very diligently to put a generator there. They've actually made it a priority and should be installing it pretty soon. So we'll keep tracking that and making sure that they're staying on top of it as time progresses.
Thank you to you and Robbie. I know you've been working on it as well, so thank you both.
All right, can I get a motion on this item?
I move to approve this item with the amendment to the Water Utility Management Franchise Agreement.
Second.
All right, we got a first and a second to approve the amendment to the franchise agreement. Any more discussion?
Real quick question. So the HOA is taking over responsibility for the maintenance of the actual water system?
Yes, sir. So what my understanding is that obviously they don't have the staff to provide the maintenance, so they'll contract more than likely with Water Utility Management and just pay for that service.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So what it is, Cody, when that infrastructure was built, a lot of those sewer lines are very deep and underneath the roads. They're not in the right-of-way, they're under the roads, and Water Utility Management didn't want to own that part of it. So, all right, we got a first and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. All right, Sheriff, you back up.
I'm last again. Thank you again, Chairman, Commissioners. This is coming before the board to approve the purchase of 2026 Ford Interceptors for the Camden County Sheriff's Office. These vehicles were budgeted and approved by the Board of Commissioners through SPOS 9 funding during the FY 26 budget processing. This helps us stay current with aging fleet. Also, we're not too far away from being at full capacity, so it helps out with those vehicles. And another thing to touch on, we're working on a traffic team throughout the county, so that will help out with different areas throughout the whole county for all the citizens, help try to reduce some of these speeders and other infractions and DUIs and stuff out there, so it's going to help out with that too. So just want to throw that out there.
All right, can I get a motion on this item?
Motion to approve.
All right, I don't know which one of y'all
Doesn't
beat the
matter.
buzzer.
Oh, I'll let him have it. You have it.
All right, Martin's got the motion, and you want to second it?
Can I second it?
Sure.
Are you sure, Martin? Can I second it?
No.
All right, we got first and second to approve the purchase of 7 vehicles for the sheriff's office. Any more discussion? All in favor? All right, this brings us to reports. Any changes to the calendar, Katie?
Not at this time.
All right, county administrator comments?
I have a couple comments. I actually want to recognize one of our newest hires, Mr. John Pittman, if you wouldn't mind just kind of standing up for us. Mr. John Pittman, he is our new solid waste director, so we really like to welcome him aboard to Camden County. So Mr. Pittman has a really amazing story. If you ever do get the opportunity to sit down and talk to him about his career and how he got to his career, it's actually a really, really cool story to hear from him. But he brings over 25 years of experience within solid waste, within the entire industry. The thing that I love about John is he's a go-getter, and he's really truthfully worked his way up from the basic starting position within the solid waste business all the way up to being now the director. So we're grateful to have you, John. Really look forward to working alongside you. And he's been in the seat, if you will, here for 7 business days. So he's still learning Camden, but he's already residing in Camden. We're very thankful for that. He comes from his past work was at Columbus, Muskogee County, where if you can imagine, if you've ever been to Columbus, that's a really large community, over 200,000 people. So very, very thankful to have you aboard here, John, and look forward to working with you. So the other hire that we've also made, you'll probably recognize a new face here at the dais, and that's Mr. Joey Iacobacci. Some people call him the Pizza Man. He's got all kinds of names. So Mr. Jacoby, we're just going to keep adding names to the list as we go. But, as many people probably in the room know, Joey was our previous Planning and Development Director, has been with the county over 10 years, has really served the county very well. Wanted to take the next steps into his career, really serving the county even more. And he's just done a fantastic job in his previous position, and we really look forward to watching him grow and learn and just assist us even greater within other projects, other departments. So it's a very good, position for him to take on, and we're very excited for him. So with that, if anybody knows of a planning and development director, we are hiring. There is a opening out there right now. So if anybody is interested, I encourage you to go to the county's website. You'll see the job posting there. And Chairman, that's all I have.
All right, thank you. All right, this brings us to our last public comment section of the night. We'll limit it to 3 minutes. Anybody registered, Katie?
Yes, sir. First is Ms. Pauline Haywood.
Good evening. My name is Pauline Haywood, and I'm here on behalf of the North Camden Action Association, along with some of our other members, to talk about Mapleford Park. Our first question was going to be to meet the person that took Seth Collins' place, but now that we know that person, our next question is, will he be moving forward with we was working on, Seth had worked with us for the last couple of years to get the Mapleford Park Pavilion renovated with the ribbon cutting on December 29th, 2024. And the 2 things that we still need done is the bathrooms and chairs and tables. And he said that would be in the next budget cycle, which I'm assuming is April or March of 2026. I'm not sure when that budget cycle is, but I just wanted to make sure that you was going to follow with us and work with us the way he did.
Not at all. Not at all. Yes, ma'am. We have already discussed items of such, and I will be pleased and look forward to working with you all for sure.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's all I need to know.
All right,
Thank you.
Mr. Ricky Manning.
Good evening, it's me again. I'd like to touch on that item 13 while I'm here. We didn't get to discuss this as citizens. It was put on the agenda as an allowable Medicare rate, and then it got jacked up. I'm on Medicare myself. I don't have a supplement, can't afford a supplement. So, Martin, when I have to pay that at the end of the year, I'll be coming to see you. And you can pay it for me, thank you. Now, back to item 9, that we did get approved, $112,000. Like I said, I had no problem with that getting approved, but it was to fix a problem that the county created. Here, once again, the county created over 4 years ago. I've been up here complaining. They created a problem. They built an illegal gun range in a improperly zoned area, which finally got rezoned, and it's still against county codes. Yet I get nothing approved. So we will move forward with that. My past, Seth was working with me on that, along with Martin, And for y'all that don't think we had noise, Martin was out there last month with me at my house when we done the trials. One gun, loud as all get out. Imagine when you get a couple dozen of them out there. I can't think in my yard. I'm tired of it. I'll be going to legislation in 5 weeks, and if nothing gets solved between now and then, I will bring it up. And on top of that, welcome Joy, welcome Mr. Pittman. Y'all will be hearing from me. And I've got a little problem, and I'd like to discuss about drainage, because I've been approached by several people. One of them will be up here in a minute. And the drainage problems out there is not because of her culvert leaking. The drainage was messed up many years ago when the subdivision was built across from her place. I know this. I've been out here too many years, folks, to know what the drainage was out there. I hunted in the hunting club on both sides of that road for years. When they built the subdivision, they plugged off the natural drainage, went out through Monkey Island Creek, out behind Cohen Hill, and back to the river. The county has had a bad problem with drainage. We allow people to build stuff without doing any kind of drainage surveys. It's not hard to read a topo map and elevation map to know that we have natural drainage in Camden County. We're a swamp. We can't plug off the swamps, or you're going to flood people out that's been living here all their lives. Speaking of that, when she gets up here, I'll let her touch on it. Thank you.
Anybody else registered, Katie?
I am.
No, sir, but we do have another speaker.
But that's on the list.
Yes,
Come
ma'am,
in.
come on
On
up.
the list, so that's why I was waiting.
Come on up.
Good evening. My name is Laura Weston. You all know me from the March 18th meeting. I was here about the drainage at my driveway. Well, they did come out in April. They dug the ditch out and cleaned the trash. Mr. Jarrett and his work crew came out and they looked up in the sewer and he said that it had to be replaced because of whatever, a crack or something. That downfall yesterday we had and all that rain came down from Wildwood, it don't have any place to go but to my driveway. The sewer, not the sewer, the culvert that's there, it's so old and out of date. So I don't know why they didn't replace the culverts before they say they voted it out. Fixing them, say because it's our problems, the person problem, to put in a culvert to their driveway. Well, look, it's looked like to me, something is twisted somewhere or another with this driveway that I'm gonna have to fix. Then again, it belonged to you all, in a sense. I put a sign out a while back, a for sale sign, and I had it on the culvert. They came out there and told me I had to move it because it was on their property. So now if that's their property, why do I have to fix the driveway to take on this water log coming down from Wildwood? It doesn't make much sense to me for me to have to take on a problem that was created when they did a housing division over there on the other side of me, when they blocked everything off and all the water is coming straight down to my driveway. When I was out there yesterday when that rainfall came down, I thought I was at Niagara Falls. Because really, when it gets to the sewer, it's no way for it to go but over the top because the sewer is about this round. It's old-fashioned. And I know now they got better sewer than that. I mean, it's a culvert than that to replace. But they said that I had to replace it. They gave me some names to contact to get it replaced. But now, why I'm here, because like I said, I'm twisted. It's going to be your property if I put a sign there, but it's my property to have to repair it. So somebody need to get me on the right road, because for some reason, I'm on the crooked road to somewhere or another. It's not straight. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Mary Beckman, District 3. I want to address similar problems with what will happen with the Commerce Park. Remembering that the gateway, logistics gateway, that project, which we approved in our saying that they could have tax relief if they bring in a fulfillment center, that project, without warning us, has drained 22 acres of wetlands and more than 20 acres of open water drainage. So are you going to make sure that there isn't a similar closing off of natural drainage on this new Commerce Park? And relatedly, both of these projects are increasing traffic coming from I-95 down Harriet's Bluff Road that runs right in front of one of our elementary schools. What are you going to do to help the safety of the children and the families dropping off their children and picking them up? And a third issue that I hope you will attend to is that on this property or near the property, there is a Holzendorf family graveyard. Are you going to do due diligence to make sure that the permits that OCGA 36-7-4 requires them to file with you are filed?
Thank you. Anybody else?
Good evening. Janie Everett, District 1. I don't have any complaints. All I want you to know is good news. We've got the first call back from Congress, and we have a Congressman, Earl Buddy Carter, that's going to take a bill to the floor to introduce for the 30 congressional gold medals. And I wanted to thank you all for writing the letter to the President and to Congress and to the state elected officials. That's what prompted them to move. But now that it's coming to the floor, we need 67%. Over 400 different people in the House. We need 67% vote, bipartisan, to get this thing to pass. So we're standing now at 2521. 2,521 signatures. I'm asking everybody across America, Congress is going to be watching this petition. We need 100,000 votes. I've asked the mayor of Jacksonville to do what Camden County did, the mayor of Brunswick and the mayor of Savannah. Put your name on this petition and promote it through your social media and your webpage, and encourage the citizens to sign the petition. So now is not the time for us to sit down. Now's the time for us to act. And the families are grateful that you all spearheaded the effort and notified Congress is taking action. And they have received their first calls. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anybody else? All right, seeing none, we'll move on. At this time, we need a motion to adjourn the regular meeting and convene an executive session for the purpose of discussion items exempt under OCGA 50-14-3B4. This is related to information technology and litigation.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we got a first and a second. All in favor? We'll be back.